Fortunately, all was about to change for the better in 1992 when they reunited with Ronnie James Dio for an album called Dehumanizer.
Another intense cover.
Yeah. So, ever since Dio had left Black Sabbath, he started his own band called Dio and had great success there on his own with the original lineup of that band, with Vivian Campbell and those guys. And they put out two absolutely classic albums that are, you know, like I said, classic metal landmark albums in Holy Diver and Last in Line. And then the lineup started to change and Vivian Campbell left and it wasn't the same band and things weren't going quite as well. But he still had a great following for that band. But in 1992, it was decided that they would reunite Ronnie James Dio with Black Sabbath. And not just, you know, the Black Sabbath with Cozy Powell and nobody else from Black Sabbath. This was like, we're going to get Geezer back, we're going to get Vinny back. And so it's the lineup, the same lineup that's on Mob Rules. And once again, these guys get together and they deliver the goods. And this album is fantastic. And, you know, in many ways, it's every bit as good as the other two. It's a little different because you're now, you know, 10 years later and the music world and landscape has changed a bit and your lyrical content is a little different and the vibe is a little different, but the music, it's like going home again. It's just, these songs are really great songs again. And you have, you know, tracks like Computer God, which is, you know, certainly an indicative of the era where computers are now starting to be in everybody's home and everybody's workplace. It's talking about that. Then you have After All, which is a really slow plodding Sabbath dirgy song, which is fantastic. And that's another great Dio performance. And then, you know, it goes on and you get just one great track after another track. And Ronnie's in unmistakable stamp on this album, vocally again. Not just lyrically, but, you know, vocally. And things like I, which is a really powerful song. And then Buried Alive, which is kind of like Zero the Hero redone as a Dio song with really great lyrics about being buried alive. It's a terrific album, and it's amazing that these guys, when they got back together, you know, 10 years later almost, the magic was still there.
They've only put out great ones with Dio.
Yeah.
What are your personal favorites of this one?
This is another one where there's nothing that's really bad on this album. There's no bad tracks on this album. It's really just like, I think After All, The Dead is a great track in the heavy Sabbath vein. TV Crimes is an up tempo one, and then you've got some ones that are sort of mid tempo ones, and then you have something like Too Late, which is similar to like the way they would end the last two albums, like the way they ended with like Lonely Is the Word and Over. It's Ronnie doing almost a Sabbath ballad, right? And then and Buried Alive. Buried Alive is badass, man. It's in some ways it's more melodically interesting than Zero the Hero, and it's every bit as relentless. It's a better song, really. I mean, what makes Zero the Hero is the tension, but Buried Alive is in my opinion a somewhat better song in a similar sort of style, where you have this relentless riff that doesn't change much throughout the song, and you just take that riff on a ride and you go with it. But again, there's nothing on this album that isn't good.
It's a heavy album.
Yeah, it is.